Om Namah Shivaya. Good evening, welcome back to In the Khud. 29 August 2023, 9:13 p.m. and it's been a while. I have spoken to the camera, and even though this is something I've been doing for a few years now, every single time there's even a little bit of a gap. It feels like something is different, but it doesn't take long to just get used to and get going with it. Why has it been a couple of weeks and I haven't uploaded a video in the Khud? I think this is the longest that I have not uploaded a video in the past year that I've started in the Khud. It started off because I was working on this one project which required CG clothes, and I stopped doing the daily vlog because I was like, every single day my progress was very small and I wasn't quite getting anywhere with my progress as such, because the momentum of the progress just picked up after like 3, 4 or 5 days probably. So I wanted to make like a comprehensive guide of a video for Marvelous Designer and Blender and how to do those animations. That's why I stopped the daily documentation. It should have culminated in over this weekend, me having put that video out, like a big grand video on In the Khud or on Rajmeet Singh Arora. That was also something I was considering or contemplating, but then I fell sick. So the annual sick situation came, and it was not as like the most extreme one or something. It was just viral, although we did a blood test because the doctor said that there could be a possibility of dengue infection or something. Thankfully all of that is negative in the report. So it was just a viral and it's mostly gone now, so I'm pretty much back to normal, which is so important, because only when you fall sick and when you're forced to lie down all day long and you cannot work on anything and you cannot do your passions, and for me, I cannot sit and work, that's when you realize how important normalcy is and how underrated normalcy is. Like just being normal and being able to just do your normal things, like going to the gym, working in the full-time job and all of the stuff in the day, and it's so important. So on that note, I obviously have no preparation for this video even today because it's 9:15 already. I was like, but I was like, no, this is just the mind trying to procrastinate, because even though everything is set up, it is a bit of a setup to record a video and edit and upload it. So I'm going to show you the video though. It went pretty well, the CG video that I'm talking about. I'm going to show the major video first. This video, there is a change from the client where we're going to change the first set of clothes, the garments. So these garments that you see in this video, I have made them myself inside a software called Marvelous Designer, simulated them inside Marvelous Designer, brought them into Blender and done all of the render. So enjoy. So there's so much that I've learned here. I literally cannot go about explaining all the things that I've learned. Over here, this entire movement, none of these animations I've done myself. They're all through Mixamo. Thank you, Mixamo. This is one thing Adobe's done very good in life, is made Mixamo free. So all these mocap data. And yeah, I'm gonna at some point put that comprehensive video explaining how all of this was made. So a lot went into this. Like you see this folder structure here, this whole folder is 26.7 GB. So you see simulation caches, the number of simulation caches I did for every single scene that you saw there, and all the Marvelous Designer files here. I'm not opening any of those right now. That's the major thing that happened in the past 2 weeks. The current thing that you see on my screen is I'm making a beach inside of Blender, and no, I have not made any of this here. I ended up buying this entire scene from cgtrader.com for $20, and I'm trying to, like, I'm just currently thinking, why did I do that? Because anyway, I had to spend so much time putting these into collections, and I'm not going to use these assets because I want to add like wind, so I have to scatter my own trees, and anyway, it's okay. It gives you a good starting point of sorts. So again, like how we did the earlier video for pomegranate, where inside the forest, pomegranate fruit doesn't fall, the bottle is already sitting there, but here the concept is that there's this coconut which will fall from the top of the tree here, over here, and over here there'll be the bottle which will be placed. And the bottle reminds me of I was trying to work on something right now. Oh, the bottle looks huge. So let me open this. So I remember making a video where I explained how these kind of ridges can be made. I just now figured that there's an easier way to do it. So I'm gonna take one of these. I'm just trying to be very rough here to like get the point across of how you can make something like this with relatively less of a trouble. Like last time how I did it, it was like combining everything and causing some weird artifacts and stuff. So easy, bring this up, 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 easy, bring this up. Scale it a bit in F to fill the face. Okay, that's what you get. Control 2 to add two subdivisions, two level of subdivisions. We're gonna Alt 3, Alt hold this, and I don't know, I think it's this one. Okay, so the key that I want to get across here is just make this shade smooth. Come in here and select this part and don't duplicate it and then separate it. Just say P selection. It's a completely different thing on its own now. Okay, now what we can do is we can work on this separately. So this is the kind of groovy pattern that we are trying to go for. The way you do that is you want to come in here and you can just, once you've separated this, because on the main mesh I don't want to apply subdiv because it increases the geometry a lot, which makes it difficult to work with. So on this one I can come and apply my subdiv modifier. I get these, which is still a little lesser because if I extrude these view alternate ones, it will be a little more like distinct. So select all of these and say subdivide once. Okay, now that same trick which I showed in the last video, which was a few months back. So select this loop, it's a Q, check a deselect. It's in my quick favorites. You can come in here. Oh, it's supposed to be somewhere here. It said we select and check a deselect, then shift alt this Q again, inside select will be edge rings. So you get this. Now what we're gonna do is Alt E extrude along normals once again, just bring it a little bit out. So you get this. Now to this apply Control 2, two levels of subdivision, and you're going to edit mode, and you see here that over here it goes flat at the bottom. So we're gonna do a loop cut Control R, bring this down, and over here loop cut Control R, bring this a little up. That's it. Now this is looking a little more like flat. You can fix that because the bottom one is still low poly like subdiv, so you can come in here and make this a bit more rounded, if you will. And yeah, there you go. You can select this and Control B to bevel, shade, auto smooth, whatever. That's how you do it. And for this again, you separate it out with P and then delete a random in between. I couldn't figure out like a good way to delete those random ones, but yeah. This is a project that I'm going to work on in the next 2 days, and obviously I'm going to be documenting now because no more skipping in the code. That's not something that I'm a fan of. And what else? I have also to work on another Meenakshi video, the building project that I've been working on, so that will happen over the next few days. And that is it. It's also been a while that I have strummed the guitar. I have sung my heart out. So there's a lot of things which are out of balance. It's been a week I have gone to the gym. I went last Tuesday, and also that too I did like just 2 tracks of body pump, which is not something I usually do. So things have been a bit haywire, which is why I felt it was important to do this session where just do a catch up with life. And the motivation for starting in the khud was never to make content for people. That would always be a good side effect or a bonus, but it was always primarily for me and like a notebook, a diary for my own life. And on countless occasions I found it super valuable that I did document whatever I was working on in real time, because I can, whenever I get stuck in Blender afterwards, wherever, I can go back and watch that video and it's just like a quick refresher and revision, so I don't have to look after things from scratch, so to speak. Okay, that's it for today's documentation. Nothing very concrete, but for the rest of the week I'm gonna work on this beach project inside Blender, and I'm gonna work on the building project, and hopefully try and put the Blender and Marvelous Designer complete guide video. So now I'm pretty confident that whatever kind of fabric there is, I can try making it. and then simulating it and then bringing it into Blender and rendering it. So thanks so much for being in the call. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.